job is so good. Like I'm working 6 months. Unbelievable. This is the background. Yeah. It's really
on the screen, mate. Here we go. Robert's in. Let's go. We're ready to go? Morning, Robert. I got to get the volume right. Let's get that right. Richard, volume? Where's the volume there?
Just at the bottom.
Speaker view? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got it. My first Zoom meeting. Here we go. Morning, Robert. Evening, Robert. No, still can't hear.
So you're on Epson. So you're working.
Okay, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Gotcha, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to this most awesome presentation this morning. I have the great pleasure, the honour, and the distinct pleasure to introduce you to my mentor, a man that has encapsulated entrepreneurship. He's used his skills and knowledge to amass a huge personal fortune. He's actually risen to the top of all the companies that he's ever worked for. He's actually individually created 60 millionaires through his documented processes. And he's a godly man, a man of integrity. He's a man that loves his family. And I'm so glad that I've come into contact with him. He's changed my whole life, and I'd like to introduce my whole class to this beautiful man, Robert Hollis.
Well, thank you so much, Daryl. I really appreciate you. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hello,
Robert. Well, I've never done a class like this, but I like it. It's cool. So, Daryl, you just want me to roll on to
share your wisdom and wealth of experience about entrepreneurship, my friend.
Okay, perfect. Well, everybody, again, thank you so much, Daryl, for reaching out to me and asking me to do this. The one thing that I love doing most is today, because of my results, I just stand on shoulders of mentors before me. And I'm going to share something with you. It's like Daryl shared with me a little bit of you guys. Love Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was a personal mentor of mine for 4 years. And it's pretty amazing that when you learn from someone like that, it impacts you forever. And in the world of marketing, I learned from a guy named Bill Gould, Larry Thompson, and Larry Huff. They're the ones that took Herbalife to $1 billion in 1985. And prior to that, the mentor that taught me a lot of things about life is a guy named Roger Penske. Roger Penske is a multi-billionaire. As a young child, he's seen the Indianapolis 500. And to think that years later, he's not only won 18 Indianapolis 500s with 11 different drivers, but now he owns the track that he went to when he was a little kid. So it's pretty amazing to hang around people that have that kind of belief. And I'll share with you really quickly what I believe is the key to that. One of the things that we all know is for a lack of vision, people perish. And the word vision, V-I-S-I-O-N, for me, I have an acronym for that. And it's vision inspires success in others now. And one of the things that I've done when I built my large organizations over the years is really getting to this one place. And you guys are getting something that I'm personally been studying on for the last 33 years. But how many of you have heard that, success and skill, personal development is very important. But how many of you know some people that just seem to be extremely lucky? It's like they just like, it's that phrase you hear all the time that, no matter how the cat falls, it always lands on his feet. And you get these people that are consistently lucky, 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 lucky. And then other people, you know, everything they touch turns to gold. And then you have these other people that are constantly struggling. And I want to share with you that if you have a very clear vision of an experience that you would love for you, your business partners, or your family, I would say all three, and try to visualize it emotionally, intensely 3 years from now. And let me explain you why. They've done studies about people setting goals. And when you set goals, us human beings have a tendency to set goals that are unrealistic, and their expectations are too high for our first 3 months, 6 months to a year. So what ends up happening is we constantly say, we're going to hit it this month. We're going to make $1 million by X date. And we find ourselves programming ourselves to not hitting it. And we get let down, and we get frustrated, and we get overwhelmed, and we get confused. Because if you set a vision of something that you're looking forward to, that you're passionate, 3 years from now, you will always grossly underestimate what you can do in 3 years.
True.
And you overestimate what you can do in 6 months to a year. So I can give you that from one of the things that I learned from my mentors is when I start visualizing, and there's a neat meditation out there by Vishen Lakhani. It's called the 6-phase meditation. You can find it on YouTube. And if you listen to that in your morning ritual and visualize things that are going to happen to you in 3 years, you'll see that they happen to you faster. So that's a neat little trick. There's 2 ways to learn in life. And one is try to learn from your mistakes. But another way is learn from the mistakes of other people that have already made them. And that's just a better way in my mind of doing that. And there's a phrase out there when I'm talking about lucky. How many of you have heard this phrase? It's not what you know, it's who you know. Have any of you heard that?
Yep.
Yeah.
And here, let me tell you how to make that work for you. How you make that work for you is everyone that you meet, make sure that you genuinely connect with them. You know, we have a tendency of just brushing people off. And what I do is I try to meet somebody, get their email address or get their, text or their Facebook profile. And I say, listen, I got a gift for you. My billionaire mentor, when I was in a bad place in my life, gave me a book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. It was written 30 years before Think and Grow Rich. And I said, if you give me your email address or your Facebook, I'll send you a PDF copy of that book. It's over 100 years old. And that book, I've learned to master that book. And there's a lot of things that once you get the chapters of that book will revolutionize your whole entire life. Let me give you just an example. Andrew Carnegie became the wealthiest person on the planet because of that book. The reason that Think and Grow Rich was even created was because Andrew Carnegie wanted, and now that he's got money and he's the wealthiest person out there and he's got influence, that's when he got the cub reporter, Napoleon Hill, to meet with 500 of the wealthiest, most influential people of the time. And he wanted him to do that study to prove that the facts in the science of getting rich are true. And so to think that when I read this book, I was unemployed, I was on workman's comp, I was making about $600 a month on workman's comp, 900, sorry, and I didn't have any electricity in my home. And after mastering that book, to think that I went from 6 figures a year to 6 figures a month to 6 figures a day is pretty mind-boggling to me. And what ended up happening is as I created relationships by giving a gift, it's called reciprocity. then I would always stay in connection with these people. And then we reach out to Daryl and say, Daryl, listen, I'm expanding a company. I would like to bounce my idea and vision off you because I know some people that you know that can help me make this dream come true. And it's always not the people that we meet, as I look at everyone as a doorway to someone that they know, that someone that they know, that someone that they know. And a lot of us are constantly looking for people that can help us make our dream and vision come true. But what we're doing is we're usually talking to people on the front level without giving a gift to build that connection to get to who they know. So I know that you guys all know an actor named Harrison Ford. What a lot of people don't know about Harrison Ford is that he put himself in the right place to just be a stand-in for a show. And then something happened to the actor that was supposed to play. And then basically he was asked to fill in and just be the person that was the sounding board, reading the script back and forth with the other actors. So it wasn't his talent. It wasn't what he knew. He put himself in the right place to get connected with people that could make his dreams come true. And what I see a lot of people doing and focusing more on is they focus on more on, I need to read another book. I need to read another book. I need to get another coach. I need to get another mentor. I need to constantly focus on what? What I know. I'll share with you guys a huge turning point in my career. And it's going to sound like I'm bragging, but I'm not. I got to a place about 15 years ago, halfway through my career, where I just couldn't find a way to make over $2 million a year. It was bizarre. I would be like 2.1, 2.2. And all of a sudden, my daughter-in-law gave me a book. It was called The Code to the Extraordinary Mind. And the other one was The Code to Joy. And this guy was a performance coach, Dr. George Pratt, and he was Tony Robbins' performance coach.
Wow.
I had no idea. So can you imagine, Tony Robbins has done pretty well too, but wouldn't you like to know who his coach is? Well, it's Dr. George Pratt. And he's really good at getting limiting beliefs done. And so I sat down with him, and at that time, I had just written my first book. It went to #1 in Amazon, and it was going through, and it was doing really well. And he said, who do you admire? And I said, at the time, it's Brendan Burchard. I was looking like building something like Brendan Burchard did. And which, by the way, he's from Montana, where I am. And I just went, you know, Brendan Burchard. And he said, let me ask you a question, Robert. Do you know how many employees Brendan Burchard has? I said, I don't. And he said he's got like 60 employees. Robert, yeah. How many employees do you have? 0. And what I realized at that time, if you guys haven't read this book, it's a really good one too, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And even though I stepped out of the employee realm, I was still self-employed. And what I mean by that, you guys, is I wasn't very good at sharing my vision with other people that could do the things way better than me. And they just wanted to be a part of the vision. They wanted to be a part of what I want to create. So instead of trying to find people that were better than me at doing things that I wasn't good at, I was doing everything.
Yeah.
Do any of you entrepreneurs resemble this remark? It's like you're the chief vision operator, you're the CEO, you're the accountant, you're the guy that's person that's cleaning the floors. Everything starts and ends with you. And I know what every one of you are thinking, the same thing I thought. Well, as soon as I start making money, I'm going to hire the right people. It's the other way around. because you can find people that if you really know how to share your vision with them, they will follow you. They will put in the part-time hours with you. I don't know if you guys recently are seeing this. I'm trying to think of the name of the movie, but there was a guy recently, Glenn Stearns in America here, where you found out the backstory later, but he was diagnosed with cancer and he was a multi-billionaire. And so he wanted to leave something and prove to the world. So what he did is I think he went to some place in Ohio and started with $100 in a used pickup. And they just dropped him off. His private jet dropped him off. And he made a deal that he would find people in that local area to help him and create a business that would be worth over $1 million. Wow. And when you watch it, I don't know, I can try to find for Daryl so you guys can watch it, but it's like little episodes after little episodes where he went to these people, you know, that he ended up creating a barbecue, and I think it was called Underground Barbecue. And he found a person that did the cooking. He found the person that could make the smoker. He found the person that, you know, would work in the kitchen. He found the person that would, you know, put together and one of the things he did is he flipped a car to make money enough to get a home that he flipped, and then got that money to get a restaurant, and then ended up building this restaurant and winning a barbecue contest. And the next thing he knew, he built a $1 million brand and everyone that worked for him didn't get paid. Very inspirational.
Wow.
So you got to ask yourself, is your vision good enough, or is your vision great enough to get people to want to help you, knowing that they're going to get paid once you get it going? Did that help any of you?
Yeah, that's absolutely. That's awesome.
Because I honestly remember being self-employed and everything ended with me. And there's just not enough time. I know some of you, I hope you all are open to hearing this, but it's like a lot of the stuff that we believe, the way it is really truly the opposite the way we believe. And as you get more wisdom and knowledge, you find out that, wow, everything's the opposite of what I thought. And so, you know, create the vision to build, get good at practicing the vision to pull people in with you that want to make this happen. When the money comes, then you get to hire them. Yeah. And so just let that set in. And then the only thing else I think that I would like to share with you guys is, because I know some of you raise your hands if you're the Jim Rohn lovers.
Yeah.
I just want to, yeah, just an amazing human doing. Oh my God, I miss that guy so much. I think it's already been 7 years that he's been gone. And one of the things that he said to me, two of the things that touched me more than anything is he said, Robert, you want to work really, really hard to the point that if you're in an airport or if you're in a hotel or you get in an elevator, that you hear these words, you know, oh my God, is that Daryl? I think that's Daryl right there. And because I hung around and listened to him, that happened to me so many times I can't count. The last one that I'm working on is right before he died, I got to see him. And he said, Robert, you die twice in your life. One is when you stop breathing here on this planet. And the second time is when people are no longer saying your name.
Yeah, wow.
And so, you know, now for me, instead of money, it's legacy. But what's weird for me is that the more I try to help people succeed, the more money I make. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. It's like the least I always wondered this, and I hope you guys did too. You look at people that are worth so much money, and it's like every year when they show up in fours, it's like it seems like their net worth doubles. And you just go, what the hell would you do with all that money anyway? And it's weird that a perfect example of that is Bill Gates. Bill Gates used to be not a very nice person, very ruthless. If you read books about him, there's a lot of even things out there about, the thing that he made him successful was sometimes stuff that he might have took without asking. And so there was a time that every company that got a little bit up, like Netscape, he would do everything in his power to destroy that idea. So he came out with Outlook, and his own browser, Internet Explorer, to destroy Netscape that was charging for their browser. And if you look at Bill Gates today, his wealth continues to grow, but he's the opposite of the person he was. Now, he lets someone else be the CEO. He resigns from the board. He's married. He's got a couple of girls, and now he's building a nonprofit. And now they say that he right now owns like a minority or a major share in like 174 companies. So now when he hears of a great idea, he wants to help and invest and help that person make their idea come to fruition. And that's where the increased wealth comes from, is now, he's got a lot of businesses succeeding instead of just trying to be the biggest one. Yeah. And so those are just some quick ideas I thought I would give you guys. And if you have any questions, I'll answer a couple of questions before I go. But I really, really appreciate everyone. Please give Daryl a hand, because all he did is reach out to me and ask me if I would help.
Thank you, champ. You're a legend. You are a legend. Has anyone got any questions for this beautiful man?
Thanks, brother.
No questions at the moment, Robert. You've stolen all the doubt, and all the questions are gone.
If you guys want to, a lot of the marketing stuff that I have, all you got to do is Google me, Robert Hollis, and I probably, have years and years and years of training out there for free. So anything that I can do to help you guys, please let me know. And Daryl, God bless and have a great, great day.
Blessed and grateful. Thank you, my friend. Love you all.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
See you next time.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What a man that guy, isn't he? He's and his laugh. I love his laugh.
Thanks, Dale.